So writing for your audience, as I've said before, and you've seen it many times. How many times have you gotten an email newsletter? I use that example a lot because we get so many newsletters in our inbox every day, and it's the wrong one, right? They made a mistake when they sent out the email, and it's actually for young teens. Maybe it's a clothing company, and it's focused on young teens, and maybe you're someone in your 40s or 50s, and totally doesn't connect with you, but you got it. Big mistake there, right, for the email marketers. But clearly, that's the best example I can give of not writing for your audience, because some people do that, without making the mistake. They're just not thinking about the audience when they write. So how do you get to know your audience? Well, number one, there's the market research out there. There's the focus groups that we've done in decades past. But I think in today's world, it's going on the blogs. It's interacting on Twitter and Facebook. It's going to where your audience is. Where are they? Where do they live? Where do they breathe? What are they doing online? And do they have groups online? You can go to some of these blogs, some of these user groups, and some of these forums. Forums are a great place to find your audience and really connect with them. But then also you can ask your audience questions. You can survey them, right? So number one here on this slide, using the word you in the copy. Sounds simple but rarely done. Yep, absolutely. Again, look at your copy after you've written it. Are you using the word you or us? Look at that. Second bullet point there. Do you know your audience? Really know them, and be sure to research them. Again, these things I'm talking about, going to the forums, going to the blogs, giving them a call. Chief marketing officer, if you're a CMO, do you ever pick up the phone and talk to customers? Some of them out there probably never have. And, geez, how much could you find out from a customer just picking up the phone and saying, hey, thanks for your loyalty, thanks for being a customer, and I just want to find out, what do you think of our products? Is there anything we could improve upon? You make 10 calls like that in the period of, a couple hours, and you could find out a lot, right, about your audience. And it doesn't have to be the CMO. It could be anybody, anybody in the organization. Third, writing about what motivates them. What does motivate them? Do you really know? Again, those surveys are really important. If you've never used SurveyMonkey or any of these easy survey tools online, great resource, right? And those of you that have used them know that it's so simple. You just sign up with SurveyMonkey, you put together some questions, you shoot it out to your database, and ask those key questions that you really want to know, and you'll be surprised what kind of feedback you get. Let's take a step back and realize that we are in the customer age, right? It's been called a million different things, but your customers are in control of your brand, right? If you haven't realized that yet, you're going to realize it soon. Your customers are in more control now than they ever have before, and that's because of the web, right? It's because of social media. It's because of Twitter. Your customers have power, and power is everything in this relationship. And that's a good thing, right? That makes us better. That makes us more competitive. That makes us respond. That's why Toyota came out of nowhere in the 70s with their vehicles and beat Ford and GM and Chevy at their own game, right? Toyota was small. They were making bikes in the 50s and 60s, folks. They came out of the 70s huge with the Camry and the Corolla, and you know why? Because they were building cars that people wanted. Why? Because they asked them. They asked them, what do you want in a car? Revolutionary in the auto industry, right? GM never did that. And look what happened to GM, folks, in the last 3 years. Look what happened to Ford. Ford was almost on life support, okay? So really good example from the auto industry about not writing for your audience, not knowing your audience, not surveying your audience, not researching them, and really understanding what do they want, right? Fourth there, think about what free thing they would really enjoy. Again, I run a couple different content sites. My first one was customcopywriting.com. It's still in business. That was the first business we started in 2003, basically writing copy for companies, writing web copy, print copy. And then now we're starting contentlaunch.com, and Content Launch is going to start here in a couple weeks. And not trying to plug it or anything like that, but the one thing I tell my clients is that, what is the free thing you can offer, folks? And the reason I bring this up is because about a third of the clients I see they have something for free. Whether it's a free trial, a free ebook, free white paper series, free webinar, whatever, they have that. But 2/3 of the folks out there do not. And a lot of them have never even thought about it. And it's so simple, putting together an ebook or doing a webinar like this one that we're having right now. It's people want free stuff, and they want value, and they want that relationship from you to be real and to be authentic, and that's super important. So really ask yourself, what can I offer for free in my copy? What is it that I can connect with? What will they really like? And it doesn't have to be very big, right? Anything is better than nothing. Next, offer it to them in the copy, right, or give them a sample of it, right? We've mentioned that. Making the copy easy to understand, 6th grade level of reading and comprehension, right? Can't say that enough. Again, going back to my previous point about the corporate speak that we see, especially in a lot of brochures that you read, and on a lot of websites too. Take a step back. Hey, can my daughter or son read this? Can they understand it? Give it to them. Give them the copy that you wrote or your marketing department wrote, and give it to your daughter or your son. Say, hey, what do you think of this? And see what they think. That'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Next, your goal is to sell, but sometimes not immediately. I would say all the time, not immediately. Okay, let's amend that slide or that bullet point. You don't want to sell right off the bat, right? That's going to turn people off immediately. I mean, maybe not 10 years ago, maybe not 20 years ago, but right now, in this time frame, in this business environment, you got to take a step back and get your mind off selling a little bit. Again, if you're building value and you're connecting with them and you're showing them what your product or service can do, you're going to sell the product, right? You're gonna get that sale, and whether it comes after the 3rd connection or the 4th or the 10th, you're in it for the long term, right? You got to be in it for the long term. Those companies that have been too sales focused, a lot of those companies are no longer here, folks. Big companies, right? Mervyn, Circuit City, some of the auto companies, right? Not really understanding the customer, not writing for the audience. Okay, and then the last couple bullet points there, focus first on building a relationship, and we've said that, and we'll keep saying that throughout because I really want to hammer that one. And ask yourself this, does my copy tell them something important or new or useful? Again, you don't want to get lost in the shuffle. Going back to my example on all the emails that we get every day, our biggest job sometimes is going through the emails and finding out what's important and what are the ones I need to respond to and which ones go in the trash. And we probably spend an hour or two a day just doing that, which is crazy, but that's just the day and age that we're living in. So again, what are you telling them something important? What is it about your email or your print ad or your banner ad or whatever you're writing? How is it going to stand out? How's it really going to pop and get their attention? And remember, you only have about 3 seconds, right, to get their attention. Whether it's on the web or they're going through a magazine, you got 3 seconds. You might even have less than that, right? So, again, really appreciating their time.